Annabelle is our food writer for the news press. Is that a title you don't hear that often now? Somebody that specifically just does food?
I guess I think you're maybe hearing a little bit more of it lately, just because food is such a passion topic in this area. But yeah, I think the news press has been really forward-thinking and generous, and kind of just letting me do the food thing and not worry about other things, and just do restaurants opening and closing and business trends and food trends and that kind of stuff. And it's fun.
And it's
a lot
really
of fun.
changed probably. I don't know how long you've been covering it, but I've
yeah.
seen a lot of growth in kind of our restaurant offerings in the past few years.
Yeah, I mean the restaurant scene in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples is amazing. Just the development and growth and the different kinds of restaurants you're seeing these days, and places that you never in a million years think would come to Fort Myers, even 10, 15 years ago are now, not just coming here, but having success here, which is
I love
really
the diversity
nice
that we're getting now. So it's not just a grouper sandwich for people on vacation everywhere you go. You said we're seeing a lot of new flavors, some new ethnic cuisines coming in. What are some of your notables?
Silk Road is a great little place. They're actually an Uzbekistan restaurant. The owners are from Uzbekistan. I think our food critic gave them a great review. It's kind of Central Asian flavors. So the idea is it's a little bit Middle Eastern, it's a little bit Russian, it's a little bit, what
are some of the dishes that? Because I don't know that I know any dishes.
I mean, that's kind of the magic of going to that place is you kind of just go down this little rabbit hole and you end up where you end up, and everything's a little bit familiar, but then not. So they have a pilaf dish that's it's kind of like a traditional pilaf, but the flavors are just the fragrances and the spices that are put in there are just completely different. So it's like you recognize it as rice, as a rice dish, but then you kind of get a couple bites in and you're like, what is this?
Really good, well done.
Really, really good and well done. And they have the kebabs, which pull from the Middle Eastern part. They have the dumplings, which kind of pull a little bit from the Chinese side, but then also the pierogi kind of style. So, I guess nowadays people will call it a fusion, but I think when you come from Uzbekistan or Afghanistan or that part of the country, that's
how they eat there anyway.
Exactly. That's just where the flavors ended up.
And I hear that's a beautiful restaurant though, isn't it?
Stunning. Yeah. The owners did a really nice job making it look as nice as it tastes, which is,
What's also like a nice contrast is that some of the restaurants that are really tasty in Lee County are very mom and pop though.
Oh yeah.
They might be just a little very unassuming restaurant.
We are the king of the hole in the wall dive, taquerias and the hole in the wall Honduran places, and we have some amazing El Salvadorian restaurants that make these handmade little pupusas, and if you're not looking around, you're just eating. You're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then you kind of look around, and it's everyone's blue collar around you. There's not a lot of English being spoken, and I think that almost is a nicer setting in some ways, though, because you feel like
very
you're
authentic.
Actually you're getting something that's genuine. You
mentioned there's a Leone's there that reopened, not to be confused with the chain, though.
Yes, no, Leone''S. So Mama Leone is back. She's in Cape Coral. She retired. I think everyone worried that she was kind of done for. She's I think in her late 70s now, so she's getting up there. They were one of the oldest restaurants in Cape Coral. They opened originally in the mid-1970s, and they're still kicking. The son makes all the pizzas. Mama Leone's there every single day. She makes all the sausages from scratch. I
was going to ask you if I went there, if I was going to want pizza or spaghetti or what.
I know. Well, okay, if you go on Thursday, you have to get the pasta fagioli, because Mama Leone makes her pasta fagioli only on Thursdays, and it's amazing. Her son does pizzas every day, so if it's not Thursday, the pizza's always a good fallback, or any of the sandwiches. They bake all their own breads there. And then they have a fresh case, too, where they sell her sausage. I think you can buy the sausages and sandwiches, too. But she makes them all right there. She's grinding the sausage by hand. She's chopping the parsley by hand. She's picking the stems off the parsley and just doing really, really good.
Well, it sounds like it's worth the trip. You also mentioned that they're nice Cuban that you can get there now. Is it more of an artisan style, or is it a very traditional Cuban sandwich?
So Artisan Eatery, I don't know that I'd call them an ethnic restaurant, but he's just, the couple who owns that place are just really passionate about food. He was a chef for a long time down here in Naples. Moved up to Fort Myers, opened a little place of his own. They call it fast fine dining, so you get the, that quick, fast casual experience, but the from scratch chef kind of food that you'd expect from a higher end restaurant. And he does a Cuban sandwich that's just phenomenal and completely untraditional. I think people who, you know, are purists with the Cuban sandwich.
That's what I was wondering, if it's like your regular Cuban, but it's more of a
yeah,
twist.
it's definitely, there's several twists in there. He does the half sour pickles, which are more traditional to Jewish delis as opposed to the dill pickles that are traditionally found in Cuban sandwiches. He does a sous vide pork loin in there that he slices by hand and pairs with the roast pork that he also roasts in-house. He makes the bread in-house. He does a house ground stone mustard instead of the yellow mustard, and when you put it all together, you know, it's recognizable as a Cuban, but it's something just completely different.
Now, what would you say, I mean, are we getting away from our total reliance on these national restaurant chains, which are good in a pinch because you know what to expect, but are we kind of departing from that a little bit?
I like to think we are. I think it takes a little bit of knowing, though, you know, so you have to kind of read up on the places and you know, you kind of have to ask around, and you're not necessarily going to find all these little places just by stumbling across them because you're driving down US 41. You know, it takes being just a little bit adventurous and going down the side street and, you know, checking out some of the lesser known places.
It's like Sassy's, you would never find Sassy's.
Oh my gosh,
unless you were looking for it.
Right, exactly. And I mean, they've been there for 20 some years, you know, and I think, you know, over time, these places become institutional knowledge for people who live in Fort Myers. But if you don't live in Fort Myers, you definitely, you know.
I'll name drop another one. That's the Gathering Place.
Oh, I know. Those guys are amazing.
In that office plaza or something, you would never find it.
It's a nursing home turned business park. So technically, the Gathering Place is in the nurses' station of the old nursing home. They work miracles basically with a non-existent kitchen. They have some crock pots. They have an oven. I think they have a stovetop that they can do some sauteing on, but the quality of food.
See, I didn't know that. I never missed not having a full kitchen because the stuff is so great.
Exactly, you would never know.
And everything.
Yeah, I mean they're completely. I'm pretty sure they don't have a hood, so everything's either baked or slow cooked or, you know, sauteed on the stovetop, which is like what you'd have at home, like a little 4-burner stovetop, but they kill it. They do good work there.
Well, if you ever need a partner in crime, count me in. A lot of great restaurants in Lee County too. Thanks for being with us, Annabelle. Hope you come back.